Bad Batch got the gang back together for episode 5 of season 2 Entombed, and this time they brought Phee and Mel with them. I really enjoyed this episode as it pulled in what I saw as references to Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones, and the Bethesda game Skyrim, all of which I have grown up loving. They started off the episode with Wrecker and Omega in a junkyard looking for a compressor. Meanwhile, Omega is walking around picking up random objects with the fascination of the mundane, which reminded me a lot of Ariel in The Little Mermaid. Oh look, it's a fork! Upon return, you see Phee telling tales of fighting an octomorph to recover the Grand Pearl of Nova, and Omega loves Phee's pirate stories. And then when she shows Phee the loot that she got, they realize that Omega's junk actually included an ancient star compass with coordinates. This reminded me a lot of the Wayfinder and Ochi's blade from The Rise of Skywalker, though fortunately this compass didn't magically align with the entrance of a cave. After some convincing, the crew kick off an Indiana Jones style adventure where they travel to the Kaldar Trinary system. And I did some digging, and this is likely a reference to the Trinary Star, which is a system where 3 stars orbited one another near a planet, like Sorelia, T'Brin, Dawut, and Batu. Luke Skywalker visits one such system in the comic book Star Wars No. 4. As the crew land, they realize that the planet is a desolate wasteland and begin following the compass, which leads them to a giant mountain that Phee calls Skara Null, a legend that predates the Jedi. Once they find the door, they speak friend and enter. Okay, not exactly, but I totally took this as a reference to the Fellowship of the Rings when Gandalf is at the walls of Moria. We also get another reference to the Hobbit with the Heart of the Mountain, which was also what the Arkenstone was known as, and that was found at the Lonely Mountain. And what do you know? There's a dragon-like creature guarding it all. Once inside, they encounter a number of puzzles. The first one took me back to Skyrim, trying to get that damn Dwemer puzzle to align. I've played the game for thousands of hours, and I still have no idea how to beat it without button smashing for an hour. It also reminded me a lot of the Dragon Claw and the way the stones rotated into place to allow the door to open. As they walk deeper into the mountain, they sense something, which ends up being the reptile which nearly takes out Wrecker, but he pops off a horn and the creature retreats, which leads to the tunnel collapsing, which separates Hunter, Phee, and Omega from the others. I love how Tech is never worried. He even notes about being slightly intrigued by the treasure. No fear, just the next logical step, which is to take the tunnel and track their location. The next puzzle reminded me a lot of Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade as Hunter fell through the false floor. Come on, Hunter, don't you know how to spell Jehovah? It starts with an I. This is where we see Phee saving Hunter, a favor he would later return in the episode. Overall, I thought Phee was a really fun character, and spending more time with her made the episode better. She reminds me a lot of Hondo Ohnaka, charismatic, full of tall tales, but I think she's a little bit more capable in a scrap. Upon discovering the heart of the mountain, Phee ends up waking up a massive mech that ends up blowing the top off the mountain. And I wish we would have spent more time with this thing, as it looks awesome and it reminded me a lot of a Pokemon just smoking the landscape with its hyper beam. I've seen several comments about the designs and ancient nature of the beast tying into the Zepho from Fallen Order. That head definitely reminded me of some of the architecture, and I think it's a really cool theory, but I also feel like if it was connected to Fallen Order in some way, the writers wouldn't have just blown it up at the end of the episode. Inside the mecha's head, there's a final showdown with the Guardian Reptile, and I gotta say, what kind of scales does that thing have? I almost thought for a second that it was a smaller version of a Zillo Beast, the way it seemed impenetrable to all weapons. Well, almost all weapons, because at the end, Wrecker just picks up the big lizard and throws it out a window to be done with it. As all of this is going down, Phee recovers the heart of the mountain and is saved by Hunter, and they turn off the mechanical beast just before it roasts their ship. But not before it took out Mel. Rest in peace, Mel. The episode ends with Phee carrying on about the chalice in the kingdom of Elways, which I took as another nod to the chalice from The Last Crusade. Legend has it, the chalice will reveal itself if you smash that subscribe and like button. All in all, it was a fun adventure that introduced Phee, and I think the writers had a lot of fun installing Easter eggs into the episode. What did you think about the episode? Let me know down below. This is CT3939 signing out. I'll catch you on the next Trooper Transmission.